And so the list, if I thought I read somewhere there's like 550,000 subscribers. Is that accurate? And open rate is like 40% or something like that.
Yeah, it's like 46%.
Wow, that's crazy. Do you send an email every day?
Yeah. So
Jesus Christ.
Monday through Friday, and then we've got our sort of membership group, Daily Stoic Life. They also receive emails Saturday and Sunday.
That's incredible.
We also send out a Saturday review email.
So that means that like every day at least like 250,000 people like read the Daily Stoic.
Yeah, it's wild.
That's wild. That's an incredible amount of trust. Can you talk about the kind of logistic that go behind the newsletter? You mentioned like a backlog, and you and Ryan like have built like a huge backlog, and then what I'm curious to hear as well is like how have you guys thought of growing in the past? How are you guys growing it now?
Like logistically, the way that the content works is we've got a Google document where we just call it the unsent doc, just constantly adding to that buffer. I think currently it's like 120 pages long or something. But again, like as we're reading stuff, or Ryan will frequently just like text or email me a picture from like a book he's reading, and it'll just be like brackets around a paragraph or something, and it'll just be like, I think this could be a Daily Stoic email.
So you add that to the buffer, you add that to that document, and then he later on is going to expand upon it when he has time.
Or
is that kind of how it works?
Or I will draft an email, add it to the doc, tag him, and then he reworks it or polishes it. And now like I've been doing it long enough where like as I'm reading stuff, I know like, oh yeah, this would be a good Daily Stoic email. He like batch writes them, but like he might sit down and just knock out like 6. And then you do that every week, and then over time the buffer just gets bigger and bigger. So but the source
comes from like what he's consuming on a daily basis. He'll like pull inspiration from that and be like, this might be a good one, and then he'll come back with your help and expand upon that in an email.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. Or if he like listens to a podcast and hears something good, same thing. And then it goes into that document, and then 2 people do an edit on each email, and then they get moved to another like record document, because like I said, all of the emails also get recorded by Ryan and get posted on the podcast. He like blocks out some time each week to just record a bunch of them, and then they go into a Notion board. I don't even know if Ryan knows this exists, but it's just for us to like organize what we've got for the calendar. Once Ryan records them, that means they've been edited and they're ready to get scheduled. So we move them there, and then we just have like different themes and categories for like making sure we're not being repetitive. Like we don't want to send out 3 straight Amor Fati emails or whatever the topic is. So we're organizing them there, and then like in Notion we have a calendar where we're just plugging things in, and we try to stay like a month out on stuff.
And I think you said when you started, the mailing list was like 50,000, right?
Yep.
So it's like 10x over the last 4 years since you joined. I'm guessing you've been kind of involved with like trying to grow that as well. So like what have been the strategies to grow it, and anything that's changed around that?
I mean, we're doing a lot of SEO style content, and those articles still are like do really well. Like a lot of people are still coming in through like the What is Stoicism article, or like Who is Marcus Aurelius, like things like that still do really well. The way that it's changed is like the podcast, YouTube channel, social media, all of that stuff is really just to like ultimately try to get people to the newsletter. So it's like within a video, Ryan's gonna call out the email, and like if you like this, like you'll like our daily email. And it's still like pretty surprising how like we'll post a page from the Daily Stoic book on Facebook, and people will comment like, what book is this from? You know? And it's like, it's from the book of this account, you know, it's the same, but there's still like some disconnect between like a lot of people follow the Instagram account and don't know the newsletter exists. So we're trying to like get more people over from the various channels. Yeah, it's all sort of like content marketing, trying to funnel it to the email, but now we're just like on the various platforms. And the other thing I'll say is like the YouTube channel, like the videos, the social media content, like Twitter threads and Instagram carousels, the TikTok videos, like it's all downstream from the written content. It's all first starting as an article or an email or a chapter in a book. And then Ryan is just like, okay, so I told this story and people seem to be resonating with it. How can we make it work on TikTok or an Instagram reel? All the ideas start in the written form. So that's been like how it's evolved. We're now on like all these other platforms, but it's still just like the core ideas from what Ryan's writing about.
Yeah, that's cool. It's like kind of like a double-sided diagram where it's like the social media content comes from the written content, right? It's like repurposed.
Yeah.
And then that social media content, because it has like bigger reach and like reaches more people that aren't like maybe aren't following Ryan or maybe aren't like following the newsletter, then that trickles back into the newsletter, right?
Right. Yeah, exactly.
If you like this short clip, make sure to check out the full interview right here and subscribe to the channel for more behind the scenes interviews with the people working for your favorite entrepreneurs and creators.